whenever we land on this book a ride screen, that is this screen from where we can book a ride, we want to make sure that we fetch nearby drivers from our pickup location and send them a push notification that, okay, there is a new trip request, you accept it or decline it. Okay, so let's write codes for it. Here we will go and come to the rider section model, and here we will create a new file naming it nearby drivers model.dart, and here we'll go with a class naming it nearby drivers model. So here we will go with 3 parameters or 3 variables. It's going to be string driver ID, then comes up double latitude, then double, it's going to be longitude. Okay, let's create constructor and then create JSON serialization. Okay, so we will move back to ride request provider, and here we will introduce a new variable. Let's give a comment here, fetch nearby driver list. So it's going to be a list of nearby drivers model. Okay, let's import this, and here we will go with nearby drivers equals to, let's create this as an empty list. Okay, so now we do need to add drivers, remove drivers, and update drivers from this list. So we will come down here, and here we will go with a comment, and we will comment out as nearby drivers functions. Okay, so first come up add driver. So here we will go with nearby driver model driver, and here we will go with nearby drivers dot add driver, and then notify listeners. Next comes up, we have to remove a driver from this nearby drivers list. So we will go with remove driver, and here we will go with string driver ID, int index equals to nearby drivers dot index where element dot driver ID equals to driver ID. We have got the index. Now it's time that we remove nearby drivers dot remove at, here we will go with index, and then we will notify listeners. Then comes up update nearby location, and here we will come with driver model, nearby driver model driver, and here we will go with int index equals to nearby drivers dot index where. So we will just copy this same line, paste up here, and here it's going to be driver dot driver ID. So we have got the index. Now nearby drivers of index dot longitude equals to driver dot longitude, and comes up nearby drivers of index dot latitude equals to driver dot latitude, and then we will notify listeners. So basically what this does is that whenever a driver moves from one location to another, it just updates its latitude and longitude. So coming up next, we will go with update marker. So I think so we do have this function update marker. Okay, that's good. So here we have a case that is update marker bool, and here we will go with a for loop for var driver in nearby drivers So we will go with double rotation equals to random dot. So first we have to initialize random here. So here we will initialize random. Random equals to random. So random is basically it's an integer thing. So here we will go with next int, and let's go with 360 dot 2 double. Okay, so basically between 360 it will just give me a random number. That's it. So we do have this loop, we do have this rotation thing. Now I will cut this one, paste up here. We do have marker, we do have marker ID. So let's change the marker ID. It's going to be driver dot driver ID. Let's remove this const, and rotation is going to be rotation. Yeah, it's good now. So we do have an error here. Let's see where is this error. The name log. Okay. So here we do have two darts, that is dart developer and dart math. Because we have imported random, dart map is also there. So we will go with as math, and here we will go to random, and it's going to be math dot random, and here it's going to be math dot random. Okay, we are good. So we have created these three functions. Now it's time that we fetch nearby drivers. Okay, so we do have written these provider codes. Now it's time that we fetch nearby drivers. So here let's make inside the services, let's create a new folder and let's name it nearby driver services. New file, let's create nearby driver services dot class nearby driver services. Okay, so we'll go with static get nearby driver. Get nearby drivers, here we will go with lat long, and it's going to be pickup location. Then we will go with build context. So we are going with build context to update the providers which we have just created now, that is add, remove those providers. So first thing, we have to fetch the data from GeoFire. So we will go and ask GeoFiber geofire to give us nearby drivers like within 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, whatever it is. So we will first initialize geofire dot, let's import the geofire package. Geofire dot initialize, and it's going to be online drivers. Let's copy this one, search, and here it is. So we will copy this one, make sure we do have the same path name. So I will paste up here. We have initialized this one. Now it's time we go with a query. Geofire dot query at location, and it's going to be pickup location dot latitude, pickup location dot longitude, and the radius. So radius, it's basically accepts like you want to go with 5 kilometer radius, 10 kilometer radius, 11, 12, whatever the radius. So we will go with, let's go with 20 kilometer radius, and let's add a comma here. So here we will go with listen, and here we do have this event. If event not equals to null, then we want to execute something. So we will go with a variable var callback equals to event of callback, and then we will go with a switch case. Switch callback, and here we will have some cases. Let's have a look onto those cases. Case geofire dot on key entered, then we will be coming up with case geofire dot on key exited, case geofire dot on key moved, and at last coming up case geofire dot on geoquery ready. So we do have these 4 cases. So whenever a key is entered, basically whenever a new driver enters a particular region, what happens when a driver exits a region, or you can say current region, what happens whenever a driver moves, then what happens, and whenever our stream, or you can say this is ready, what happens. Okay, so first we will go with on key entered. We will go with nearby drivers model equals to nearby drivers model. So driver ID is going to be event of key, and it's going to be event of latitude, and the longitude is going to be event of longitude. Okay, let's add a comma here, and after that we will go with context dot read ride request provider dot add driver, and here we'll go with model. So we have added the driver, and next we will break. So here in this ride request provider, we want to introduce a new variable, and it's going to be a bool fetch nearby drivers equals to false. Okay, so here we will come back to nearby driver services, and here we have added driver. Let's go with if context.read. It's going to be write request provider dot fetch nearby drivers equals true. Then we want to update the markers. Context.read write request provider dot update marker. So basically what happens when you update marker is that it will run in loop. That is this one, it will run in loop for the drivers, and all our drivers will be get reflected back in this map. So we will, for every driver, we will have a map, we will have a car icon in our map. So we will go back to this. So we do have this first case done, that is on key entered. Now let's go to on key exited. So on key exited, we will remove that key. So I will copy this thing, paste up here, dot remove driver, and it's going to be event of key dot toString. Okay, and next we will update the marker. So let's copy this one, paste up here, updated the marker, and here we will go with a log message that says driver remove, and let's give the driver ID here, event of key. Yeah, we are good. Now it's time we break. Okay, on key moved. So we will go for on key moved. Here we will go with the same, that is nearby driver models. We will copy this one, on key moved, we will paste here. We have got the model. Now it's time that we update nearby location. Context.read write request provider dot update nearby location model, and we also do have to update the marker. So we'll copy this one, paste here, we will update the marker and break. And at last we do have what happens when our GeoFire service is ready. So we will simply update the marker and break. And here we will go with a log message, log, and it's going to be context.read write request provider dot nearby drivers dot length dot toString. Okay, here we do have to add a semicolon. So we do have these nearby driver services. So we want to make sure we fetch nearby drivers as soon as we lands on this screen. So I will go to the screen, that is book a ride screen, and inside the init state, that is here, we will call driver services nearby driver services dot get nearby drivers. So here we will first create a variable, let long pickup location equals context.read write request provider dot pickup location. Okay, so we do have an error here, and value of type pickup and drop location model. Okay, so let's cut this one. Here we will introduce pickup and drop location model. Pickup model equals to paste. Yeah, so here it's going to be lat long pickup model dot latitude, and it's going to be pickup model dot longitude, and here we have to add a null check. So we do have this pickup location, and yeah, we are good. Now let's save it. So we have to now test out that whenever we lands on this screen, everything goes good. And the other thing which we want to execute is that, so we will go with asynchronous. Here we will go with await, and context dot read write request provider dot, we do need to update this bool, that is fetch nearby drivers. So here we will go with update fetch nearby drivers bool new status, and here it's going to be fetch nearby drivers equals new status and notify listeners. We will cut and paste it inside nearby drivers function, and we will move back to book a ride screen, and here we will go for update fetch nearby drivers, and it's going to be true. Okay, let's save it, and let's have a look onto the update markers thing. Okay, we will copy this one and let's have a look onto it. We have all inside this ride request provider only. Great. Now let's delete it. So let's restart our application. Here inside book a ride screen, we have to update another bool that's going to be context.read, and it's going to be ride request provider dot update marker bool, and new status is going to be true. Okay, so we are here in this screen. Let's save this one and let's go back. So we are going from Red Fort to Qutub Minar. So I will just edit a little. I will just remove this one and let's go with Qutub Minar. And yeah, so we have triggered this function that is get nearby drivers. And as you can see here, we are having a car. Okay, so why we are getting displayed a car, it's because here in online drivers, there is a driver which is online. So if I just delete this one, this car will be removed. Okay, so let's delete, and as you can see, the car is removed. So great.